Well, Tyson's dressed in his customary black as usual, has no socks on, just the black boxing shoes, and this will be a 4-rounder.
Now you can notice right now the way Tyson wastes no time. You know, somebody said with 16-ounce gloves, can you hurt somebody? Can you knock them out? Yes, I've seen it done.
Of course, with headgear, it'd be very difficult to do that, but that's not the intent tonight anyway. People want to see Mike Tyson in action, and they're probably going to get the full 4 rounds.
Well, Dan, what you're looking at right now, they're not clowning around just for the benefit of the fans here. They're not showing them, well, here we are, we'll take it easy. They're out there winging.
I think anytime Mike Tyson steps underneath those ropes, he's out there for business. I don't think he touches around very often in the ring.
Dan, you're right. He's doing it right now.
Tyson in black, Tillis there on the right. First round action.
You know, Tillis is saying this is where it all started for me. I want to make a big hit. I want to come back to Chicago as a headliner again. For a while, he was going great guns.
Oh, he really was. It knocked out virtually everyone he fought and was undefeated when Mike Weaver beat him back in '81 out at the Rosemont Horizon.
Tyson is just warming up a little bit, you see. And it really does not, I'll emphasize that, try to hurt Quick Tillis.
If he were my sparring partner, I don't think I'd want to hurt him either. You know, it can't be easy to find guys that want to step in the ring and practice with Mike Tyson.
Well, Dan, you know that he's got a fight coming up. Tyson, with former heavyweight champion Larry Holmes. Oh, look at that thing.
What a good combination there by Tyson.
Yeah.
We have watched several preliminary fights, Ben, you and I tonight. Some smaller guys who are very quick, and you know, it's almost incredible that Mike Tyson, who outweighs some of those people by 80 pounds, is just as quick, if not quicker than they are.
I'm glad you noticed that. I tell you what Tyson has done. He's slowed Quick Tillis down a little bit. See, they're not playing around. This is not let's play twinkle toes.
Dug one to the body and then right back up to the jaw, did Tyson.
And you look through the crowd and you watch all the folks. Nobody's eyes are turned away from this. This is the first time that they've seen the Mike Tyson. And boy, they are eating it up.
Counting down to the end of the first round. Again, this is scheduled for 4. An exhibition. There'll be no decision at the end. There's one.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, we'll keep in mind that he's only 21 years old and fighting in an era in which there aren't that many great heavyweights to go up against. It's tough to learn when you're 21 and there's nobody out there to fight.
I keep telling you, Dan, that there's nobody around that could get the crowd excited. In other words, if you were talking and say, well, after he fights someone, say, you know who I'd like to see him fight? I'd like to see him fight this fella or that fella. But there's nobody around.
Well, he's got Larry Holmes coming up in January.
Yes.
And later on down the road, probably not until early '89, Michael Spinks, which is one that a lot of people are looking forward to.
I hope that fight comes off. There seems to be a little controversy about that.
Well, I think there's too much money to be made in that one for it not to happen sometime.
Too much money. Tonight they're fighting their hearts out for just expenses. And they're not even paying that. I understand they paid their own way in. They're paying their own hotel. And incidentally, the officials here tonight are not getting paid. The referee, the announcer, and the judges.
Well, Holy Angels has yet a long road to hoe. They need somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.5 to $4 million to rebuild the church that burned to the ground. And as of now, Father Clements says they're in the neighborhood of $1 million. So there's 2.5 or 3 to go, and this may pay some of the freight. As we said, a good crowd here to watch the world heavyweight champion Mike Tyson and Quick Tillis. Just past the midway point of round 2.
Now you see why Mike Tyson, wants a Quick Tillis in camp with him. And you see, I mean, there's no playing around. I'm not taking it easy. You're not taking. They're out there really punching and winging. There's the shuffle, the old Ali shuffle.
Good body with two big right hands to the body.
We can hear it down here, Dan. Oh, they're getting them on. And incidentally, the promoter, Ernie Terrell, who worked with Father Clements, put together a great show. A lot of good talent on the card.
We'll be seeing some more of that talent later on in the show. Craig Bojanowski will fight Al Hauk, and we'll look forward to that one. It should be fun. Tyson with a good combination. Tyson's throwing most of the leather here, Ben. I don't think Tillis is getting off very well.
Well, that's why
he's a sparring partner, huh?
I was just going to say. But I tell you, he's not leaning over the champion. He's not trying to stop from getting tired. And this is, for an exhibition, this is as good as you'll see anywhere.
Third round, Tyson's trainer Kevin Rooney in his corner before the round began, just telling him to go out and have some fun.
See what I enjoy about this, it's not patty cake.
No, it really isn't. Boy, what a great thing it would be for Chicago to have him come here and fight when something was on the line.
Oh. Well, I know the next fight is not coming here. It's scheduled for January, and he fights Larry Holmes.
Yeah, that's in Atlantic City. And then he's talking about making a trip to Japan. He wants to be known as a true world champion, and he's not afraid to go outside the U.S. and fight in some exotic places.
Same thing that Muhammad Ali did. Hung his title on the line in many foreign countries.
Manila, Zaire. There were so many places that Ali traveled to. And that's partially why he was such a beloved character.
Yeah, and he had a charisma that everybody loved. I mean, still today you hear that chant, Ali, Ali, you know. You see how big those gloves are? I spoke at the wrong time because you got to. Tyson hit him with the left hook.
Tillis getting off a few punches too.
Yes.
They may be 16-ounce gloves, but they'll sting you. If I were James Quick Tillis, I don't know if I'd want to hit Mike too hard. You know, you wouldn't want to.
No, I think
stir him up.
On the other hand, I think that Tyson would insist, throw your best punches at me. That's how you get in condition. That's how a fighter really gets into condition.
Well, January 22nd is not that far off. Just over 2 months away.
Between you and I'm not too enthused about Holmes coming back. 22 fights. I don't know.
From what I've seen of Mike Tyson, I can't see Larry at 38 having much of a chance against him.
Now you notice how he's been avoiding and getting underneath the left hand of Tillis.
Well, Tyson has proven that he's so. Another good play. The left hand caught Tillis pretty flush there on the headgear.
They're not playing around, Dan.
He's not a big person. He can hook him outside, though, and he's devastating inside. I can recall Jesse Ferguson going down from an uppercut. It almost took his head off earlier in Tyson's career. And there's a good left hand from Tillis.
He reminds me so much of a great fighting champion in the welterweight division, Henry Armstrong, for Quick Tillis, who now, as we've talked about, has become his chief sparring partner, and I can see why. That's the kind of a guy I'd like to have in a training camp if I had a fighter.
Well, Tillis earned it when he fought Tyson. He went the distance. He went 10 rounds with him. He's one of only 4 men ever to do that.
Not only that, took his best shots, Dan.
He sat down once in the 4th round of that fight, but aside from that, hung in there and slugged it out pretty well with him. course, the popular tactic now when fighting Tyson is to grab and hold and smother and cover and try not to let him get off.
I'm glad you brought that up, because everybody that fights Tyson, they all have the same script writer. I saw something about Tyson that I think I can lick him. He does this, he does that. He was never in with anybody like, and then you hear the same thing for every fight.
Tyson exploding out of that clinch with a couple of good shots to Tillis' body.
And what I like about this, again, I keep repeating, they're in there really putting it on.
Oh, Mike's trying to set up something there.
Yes, he is. He tries to get away from the left hand. And over the left hand, he throws a left hook. Get that.
Well, Tillis knows about the hook. That's the punch that knocked him down.
That's right. Now they're staying in close. Tillis was an awfully great prospect when he was boxing here in Chicago. He has taken a few of Muhammad Ali's moves. That was a good left hook.
That's a shot that with lighter gloves and no headgear.
Well, then you know what you're running into. There's the shuffle now.
Final half minute of this exhibition. It's been fun to watch, and while nothing's at stake here,
we in Chicago have had the opportunity of seeing the heavyweight champion of the world in person.
As they finish it up with a flurry, there's a lot to be said for that, Ben, and also, of course, let's not forget the main purpose of all this, and that's the benefit.
That's the bottom line, Dan.
There's the bell. And that will do it. We'll step aside now for a moment and come back and talk with Mike Tyson. Okay, we're in the ring with Father Clements, Mike Tyson, and trainer Kevin Rooney. Mike, first of all, let us thank you very much for coming to Chicago. I know it's tough to break away and do these kinds of things, and we certainly appreciate it.
Well, again, it's always my pleasure to do something for Father Clement. And I felt good. I needed to work anyway, so it didn't hurt me by any means. And I'd like to dedicate everything to Father Clement for helping me. And the winner of this fight is the church, Holy Angel.
Well, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about what's happening next. You have Larry Holmes coming up in January. How do you feel about that one at this point?
I'm very secure and confident about when the fight is over that I'll still be victorious and I'll be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Ben?
Dan, I've got to ask Mike one question. Here we are. Father Clements, Don King, Mike Tyson, the heavyweight champion of the world, his manager, Jim Jacobs. Mike, do you think we can see you hanging your title on the line here in Chicago, boxing for the heavyweight championship of the world?
Me and my managers, we made situations on defending the title here, but still we have a whole great deal of negotiation going on. And as far as I'm concerned, I would love to defend my title in Chicago.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, Mike, we'll let you get back. Thank you very much again for coming out. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kevin? All right. We've got more boxing ahead yet. Craig Bojanowski's still to come, so stay right here.